Hello, FLOSSTUBE universe. It has been a month, I think, since the last time that I've released a FLOSSTUBE. I believe it was FLOSSTUBE 7, or are we up to 8? I think we're up to 8 now. Anyways, it's the month of September that I'll be looking back at since the last video. I think that video was the one when I came back from the US, and that was the first video that I did. Anyways, back at it again. If you're coming back as a new subscriber, or you've been subscribed to me for a while, welcome back. For anyone that's new here, my name is Johnny Saxon. I have this FLOSSTUBE where I just talk about cross-stitch, and I do believe that there are a lot of other things that I talk about too, because I do end up just telling you guys everything, and that's okay, right? I feel like you're interested in hearing it, so I might as well just kind of give you my thoughts and just see what you all think. But at the same time, I just love sharing things with you guys. All of you have been so supportive as a community. I've got to say that every time I do a FLOSSTUBE, I have to say how amazing it is to be in FLOSSTUBE and to just get the reception that you all give me. I'm very fortunate, and I love that. So thank you. I love that you guys can give that to me. Anyways, I'm going to move on. I always get so like, I don't know what to say, blah, blah, blah. But, it's always nice. Anyway, I just need you guys to know. But yeah, it's been a month. It was my birthday month. I turned the ripe old age of insignificant 39, because it's my 40th next year. Jesus Christ, how did I get here? I'm glad that, as I get older, it's true, you do get wiser, you start letting go of things, and one of the things that I've let go of was just like not having enough confidence to do content like this, right? I let go of that and did that at the start of the year. That was just part of me growing up, because I've always been so self-conscious about the way I look or my image and etc. But who cares? I think that's where I'm at in the stage of my life. I'm like, I just don't put a lot of weight on that sort of thing. It's just better to do it, and as you do it, like you get the confidence, etc. If you don't just step out into the limelight, how are you ever going to learn that confidence? So anyway, that's part of growing up. But anyway, going back to my birthday, ripe old age of 39 years old, and I'm feeling it. That generational gap is just getting further and further away as I get, I think the other day I had to take just some assistant editors out for work, and the age gap was like maybe about 15 years, and I was giving some of my like quotes about, I don't know, just old 90s TV shows, etc., and I would say something and then no one would get it, and I'm just there going, oh shit, this is it. This is where it's happened. The fact that no one's responding, I'm then like, oh God, what do I do? And then I just kind of like step back. I'm like, oh God. It was harrowing. No, not harrowing. It was, but it was more just, all right, I have to accept that I have to move on. I can still hang out with the young people and then just be like, well, you should watch Beverly Hills 90210. Why not? It's that 90s thing. It's back, guys. 90s are back. You should be into this. It was one of those moments. But no, the birthday was great. I didn't do much in sense of like, I didn't do a massive party or anything like that. I think me and my partner just ended up we ended up kind of getting a hotel room out in the city. So we didn't leave Sydney. We just got a hotel room at a new hotel, Sofitel, on the Darling Harbour. And it was just nice. It was like a bit of a cold day, and we went out into the city, did a nice, lovely walk. I went to my favorite bookstores and shops, and I think one of my requests to my partner was, can we go to Hyde Park, which is I guess to anyone else that's not from Australia, that's kind of like our Central Park, um, like New York Central Park. It's really not that big. But anyways, I just said, can we go to Hyde Park? And all I want to do is just lie down in the sun and the grass and read my book, which we did. But I was so tired that I actually ended up falling asleep on the grass. Which, you know what? I actually enjoyed that too. One of the other requests that I said, which was funny for my partner, I guess, and my friends, was there's this new place that's opened up in the city called Fortress, and they kind of do like board games and like it's a pub. You can get beer on tap. There's food, and it's good food too. And they've got like, little booths where people can play video games, and it's definitely targeted not for a younger demographic. It's definitely targeted to my demographic. And but one of the things that they do there is they've got this thing called Dungeons and Flagons. Am I saying that right? Flagons? Anyways, it's a Dungeons and Dragons like beginners sort of thing that you pay for someone to host the event for you. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do is play a Dungeons and Dragons game, because I've always been so scared. I don't know what to do. It's always so like, you look at the it's overwhelming. Like, you look at the books that they've got and you're like, well, how do I play this? What are the rules? Am I supposed to learn this whole rule book to play this? And then who's going to lead it? Because none of my friends play it. So this place, Fortress, you end up like paying for a dungeon master, and they'll sit you down and run you through the whole process. So for my birthday, I said to my friends, why don't we just go and play it? I mean, like, you've been hearing about it your whole life. Why don't we just give it a go, pay someone to actually walk us through it? So we did it, and I was not expecting my friends to like it. Actually, when I got there, I was looking around and I'm like, oh gosh, like, I don't know if my friends are really gonna like fit in with the type of crowd here, because they're not like gamers, or like, they like board games, but they're not gamers and stuff like that. And that's what that place was sort of targeted at. We sat down. We had a lovely person. He was an older man, and he's been playing it for 25 years. He sat us down and he just rolled out a map and got these dice out. He's like, yeah, well, I'm going to teach you guys how to play Dungeons and Dragons. And all my friends, I'm so surprised to say this, loved it. They loved it so much that we're going back again next Sunday. And now I know a little bit more about it. And my partner is so ridiculously into it. None of my friends are like into the whole like leading the game thing, but like my partner and I, we definitely are looking at it. We're looking at the whole Dungeon Master thing and going, all right, okay, well, since you all like it, I'm happy to sort of look into it, leading a game and all that kind of stuff. So now, yeah, I've been doing some practice. I practiced with my nieces last week. I got them to play a game with me. I've been practicing one-on-one with my partner, and I think I'm ready to do this. Like, it's not a hard game. It's a lot of fun. It's not nerdy. I'm sorry. Everyone says it's nerdy. It's not. It's imagination. You just kind of like sit down and you just kind of have this rule book and you play, and it's funny. And like, people like as you get into it, like my nieces, for example, here's an example. Sorry, this is now turned into a D&D video and not a cross-stitch video. If you want to do cross-stitch, I'm sure I'll have chapters to step ahead, but if you want to hear me ramble, please do. So my nieces, they did not know how to play it. So we sort of sat them down, and so I made up the game. They, like, my niece is a teenage. If you're listening to this, Hunter, I'm sorry, I'm going to be talking about you. Anyway, my niece is a teenager, and she's going through the teenage, pangs, we'll call them. And she it didn't look like she was really that into it. But then I started creating, that one thing about D&D is that you can sort of look at the story, follow the story, but then you can create a story to go with it, to just whatever feels right. And I know that sounds weird, but when you're in it, it makes sense. And I sort of created a very annoying character, and I started just attacking my niece, basically, and her character. And then all of a sudden it amped up, and she started really being a part of the process. And, you know, we played that for like 2-3 hours, and I was really proud of that character, just bringing it up, because he created like these moments. And even though it's an imagination, you do feel like, because you have to play it out in your head, everyone's playing out the story in their head. It feels like you've watched a movie and you were all interactively a part of it. So it's fun. That's what I'm going to say. That's my spill. For anyone that was on the edge of should I do it, see if you can find someone to lead a game for you and your friends. It is a lot of fun. And it can cause a bit of like, not fighting, but just, I think one of my friends was like, no, let's just go in there. I want to fight. And we're like, no. People are like, we want to investigate and find out more about the story. And then it really brings out the personalities in people and just like how that works. But anyway, so that was my birthday. It was a good present. It was the best about that was that that my friends were the biggest present to me was that my friends actually got into it, and I just it was a nice feeling. But yeah, like that's my month has been sort of kind of dealing with my birthday and work. Look, you know, guys, work has been full on. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about my job, but it's been crazy. So I'm really towing that line of like, what's work and what's life, and what's work and what's life. So I have been actually cross stitching quite a bit this month, because it's, as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, you know that it is a mental health exercise for me to be able to cross stitch and just escape from the world a little bit. But yes, that's been the month, and since I'm talking about cross stitch now, I will start talking to you about my finish. Let's say finish. One finish, not a fully finished object, but one finished object. As you all know, I've been doing the Lola Crowe stitch, Lola Crowe stitch, Lola Crowe cross stitch, Greenhouse of Oddities. So I've been working on that for the last like 4 or 5 months. And it's been a really beautiful piece to work on. I've enjoyed it. Well, I finished it. I'm very excited to share it with you. If you haven't already seen it on my Instagram, but I will show you now. All right, guys. Check this baby out. Isn't she beautiful? Oh, God. This is terrible. Hold on. There she is. Isn't she lovely? I ended up doing Charles Darwin in the corner. Just here. But yeah, she's just one of the best pieces I've worked on. So one thing is I accidentally posted this on my Facebook, my personal Facebook. Sorry, I don't know if that's in frame, but I'm just gonna go here. And I don't like posting like any of my YouTube content onto my personal stuff and all that kind of stuff. I just don't want that many people to know about it. But I'm sort of glad that I did accidentally, because I found out like all like old friends and my family and all that really like they didn't know that I cross stitched and all that kind of stuff, and they loved it. I had all this like lovely comments and all that from personal relationships that I've had in the last 20 years, and it was just I didn't realize I was going to get such a nice reception for it, because it's just there's a stigma of being a male doing cross stitch, etc. Like there is, especially probably I thought amongst my community, but let's be honest, that was just me thinking that. Everyone else was just so nice in those comments, and they absolutely loved this. I mean, if you think about it, it's just got a lot of things going on in it, which is nice. And I think that's why it just looks so complicated, but also really, really pretty. Also in time for Halloween, guys. Spooky. So I think one of my favorite bits about this one is I think it's the yellow fungusy tree thing. I can't remember what it was. I think I mentioned it in the last one. I think I really, really like stitching that only because maybe it's the color that I really enjoyed stitching. And then I was a little bit skeptical about writing the words on the bench next to the skeleton. I was kind of like, oh, do I really want to write? What does it say? These plants can kill. But then I'm like, oh, I don't want to be too far off what the actual pattern was. So then I ended up doing it. It was lovely. I should have done it anyway. Oh, I can't hold this up. But yeah, I really enjoyed stitching this. I'm very, very happy to have finished it. And this is definitely getting framed. I thought I was going to take it to work. Like, I was going to take this to work and put it on the wall. I'm now not going to do that. I think my partner really, really loves this piece. He wants to put it downstairs up in the living room, just above like our little plant section. We got like a little corner of plants and all that. So it sort of makes sense and it sort of fits in and it's got this nice little colors that will pop. What do you reckon? Whitewashed sort of frame? If anyone's got any feelings of what they think would be a good color frame, I'm interested to know. But yeah, that's my finished cross-stitch Greenhouse of Oddities. I'm very, very happy to have shared this with you. All right, so that is one finish. And now I guess I can talk to you all about where I'm at. Well, I've got a new start. Why don't we start with a new start? I was thinking, what am I going to do next? I've still got the Bellatrix that I'm working on. I haven't touched her. I haven't. I feel really bad, but I haven't gone to. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling going back to that one. I have actually worked on. Oh God, what is it called again? It's the winter pattern. The winter pattern by Noyce. I'll show you that now. But anyways, I've got a few whips that I can show you. But new starts. I was thinking, what do I want to do? So I wanted to do something Halloween-y still because it is the month of October. What is it? The 8th of October now. I feel like I could probably get this one that I'm going to share with you done by the time the end of the month comes along. Could I get it framed in time? I don't think so, but at least it'll be done and it's part of that stitchy mood. All right. So I am new start working on. Is that going to do the thing? Halloween Tiny Town by Heart in Hand. So this is the sampler that I picked up when I was at the attic in Phoenix. And the lovely ladies there gave me those silks, which I mentioned in the last video. So they gave me the fabric to work on, which was just a 40 count. Well, we'll talk about 40 count in a second. It's called Newcastle, and the color is Very Country Mocha, and it's a 40 count fabric. I don't know if that actually came into thingo, but it's a nice piece of linen fabric and good to work with. The silks I did share with you last time, but we're talking about the Gumnuts silk, Dinky Dyes, which is that Australian one, I believe. I think Gumnuts is Australian too. And then Belle Soie, one of the... Which one's the Belle Soie one? I only got one of those. That one, it's funny. I'm working with silks now, guys. I haven't worked with silks before, ever. Belle Soie was very, very soft, but I did find it a little bit difficult to work with as a silk so far. I don't have that much experience with it yet, but so far what I've used with it, it's very springy. Whereas the Dinky Dyes, I don't think the Gumnuts and Dinky Dyes I haven't had any issues with at all. Actually, they're a joy to work with. Now I know what everyone talks about when they say working with silks feels fantastic and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be hard to go back to DMC. I mean, DMC is the most common one. I'll get used to it, but the silks are definitely a nice feeling. And probably, now that I'm going to show you what I'm working on with the Halloween Tiny Town, what I've done so far, I feel like because it's 40 count, I'm doing 2 over 1, 2 over 2. And I don't know. I mean, I know that I think with 40 count, you should be doing 1 over 2. I don't know, or maybe it's one. I'm not going to do 1/1 on a 40 count. Yuck. Ah, my eyes. I mean, I'm using my magnifiers for this because the 40 count just stretches me to that point where I'm like, nah, I need that proper magnifiers. And I remember the lady at the attic, I can't remember her name, she was so lovely, but she suggested I should just get the glasses. And I'm at that point where maybe I should just go get those reading glasses. As long as I can just put them down and I can still watch stuff as I go. But yes, because it's silk and it's a 40 count and I'm doing 2/2, I think it's more forgiving that it can go through. It can just, it's not sticking, if you know what I mean. So if it was DMC, I think I'd be having problems with that. But anyways, I'll show you what I've done so far and then I'll explain myself of what I've done here as well. Let me take it off I don't want you guys to judge what I've done here, but I'll explain myself, please. I don't know if some of you are going to be like, what have you done? I don't have a sewing machine, okay? I'm very much terrible at whip stitch, so please forgive me. It's not a part that anyone's going to see if I frame it, so this is what I've done to the piece. It's small. I don't have a hoop to fit the whole thing, so I've done that thing where I've just did the whip stitch around the frame so I can stretch it. And it's not bad, it's not fully stretched, but anyways, look, I'm going to show you what I've done so far and then I'm going to explain myself. So this is what I've done so far. Is that going to come into focus? I think that's in focus. Oh, shit. I think that's the best we're going to get. So this is what I've done so far. And of Tiny Town. I don't know how much. I think that's, if I can break this down into parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 1 out of 8 parts of the pattern. This is why I think I'm going to get this done pretty quickly. I don't think it's going to be a hassle for me to finish this before let's just see how my eyes go. I don't think you will be able to notice it, but right on the owl's eyes, French knots. That was my first time that I've ever done French knots. I think they said try it out somewhere else, and I was very proud of myself that I didn't. I just did it straight away, and it worked. And I was really, really happy with it. I could do more French knots, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready for the big ones. What's that chatelaine? Give me a chatelaine. Show me a challenge. I'm ready for a chatelaine is all I'm saying. Look, what I've done here is I've done that whip stitch. Well, my whip stitch, can you see how terrible that is? That's me just kind of going, I just want to get to the project quickly, but I don't want it to fray. So hurry. I'm at that stage where I need a sewing machine. I think I need something, but I don't know what to get. I just want the most portable sewing machine. I'm not looking to do anything crazy, or not yet anyway. I think there's hand ones you can get. I don't know. But anything that would help with just doing the edges. But you know what? As ugly as this is, actually no, I won't use the word ugly. As rustic as this looks, it's not going to fray, and that was the whole purpose. So I did the job. And you know what? It works with the Halloween theme. So 2 for 2. And did you see the owl needleminder? Hey, cause owl, huh? So yeah, look, it's working for me. I like it. I'm really enjoying Tiny Town. I think it's a really, really lovely pattern. The silks just make it all the better. And yeah, new start, guys. I'm really, really excited about this one. So I love this one. All right. I've only done that's only about 2 days or 3 days worth. Oh, and I forgot to mention. Well, I mean, I put it on my Instagram post if anyone's interested. But the Lola Crowe stitch took me about 3.5 months worth of days to do the Greenhouse of Oddities. Days? 3.5 months worth of days. Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, so it's about 110 days or something like that, or 105. Yeah, that's not that bad. 3.5 months solid work on it over a 5-month or 6-month period of me starting it. I thought I was pretty proud of that. All right, so Heart in Hand, that's my new start. As far as whips go, I'm still sort of keeping to my normal sort of whips that I've been working on lately. I have made a lot of progress in one of them, so I will show you this progress. So for Winter by Noyce, the one from the Cross Stitch and Beading magazine that I've got, I think it's a black work. I think I've made some beautiful progress on this one. I sort of really enjoyed doing it for a while. So that's what we're looking at the moment there. Some really, really lovely sort of patterns. This took forever to do. I don't know if I just want to get close, but it just doesn't want to focus. Oh, God, how annoying is this, guys? Anyways, this little piece of black work here just was killer. I think I was on that for days. It was just the thing about black work that I realized is you just got to get a rhythm of what that pattern is, especially if you have a lot of it. I'm still kind of not. One of the things that I should have done is not do I should have done like an even weave or something, because this linen is all off and you kind of want it to be repetitive. I mean, it's going to look nice in the end because it's going to look a little bit different, and it's going to have its quirks, but it's hard to keep a rhythm with how you work the needle within the pattern lines. Like I was thinking of myself as a printer. Like, it's better that I just go from here to here and print, and kind of go back to the beginning and print. Because if I'm just working all over the place, there's no rhythm to it, and then I lose my place, and I don't enjoy it as much, I guess is what I want to say. So once I figured out what it is and how I like to work the black work, it made it much more enjoyable to work. It also says in the magazine, and I'm totally against what it said. It said don't do the outline, do the black work first, then do the outline on top of it. I disagree. I need the outline to know what I'm filling in. I'd rather just work around the outline and sort of work under it, like whatever that crazy, like annoying, frustrating stuff of working with a backstitch that's already there. Whatever, that's better than just doing it without an area knowing what you're going to do. I know I could probably draw it in. I don't want to draw it in. I'd rather just put the outline in. It's honestly made no difference to the project, so I didn't want to listen to those rules. I broke the rules. Am I going to pick this up again this month? Yes. I really, really enjoy working on this now, ever since I started doing those outlines and figured out how to work the black work. It's a weird one. It will look nice when it's done, though. Just saying. And I'll remember next time, even weave, and I'll stick to the count for black work. If it says 14 count, I'm going to stick to 14 count. I'll do 14 count, because this is, I don't even remember what this is. It ain't 14 count though. It's probably, oh my god, is it actually 14 count? No, it's probably 16. It's not that far. Maybe I should just shut up. All right, so Winter by Noyce. I'm so happy to have picked this up and continue it. So there's that. I've very much neglected Fruits of Plenty. I don't even know if this is any different from the last time you've seen it, but this is just where I'm up to. It's really, I have not gotten that far with it. Probably like this extra bit. Really, nothing to write home about, guys. I actually don't even think I should be showing it to you, because I don't think I did any of it last month. No, I did 10 days on Winter and 1 day. I spent 1 day on this last month. And the rest of it is 26 days worth on Greenhouse of Oddities. So, no, this was very much neglected. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Fruits of Plenty. So that's basically it from my WIP Parade. Nothing new. Well, I have a haul to talk about. There is stuff to talk about. One of my let's talk about my haul. I got no more whips. We're talking haul now. One of my presents that I got for my birthday was actually from my friend Nicole and her sister Georgina. They're also cross stitchers, and we have our own little WhatsApp group. Although they do have kids, and they find it really difficult to find the time to work and cross stitch and take care of the kids because they're all very young kids as well. But they manage, and I'm very happy. I'm constantly like bombarding them with pictures of where I'm up to on things, and they're probably just sick of me at the moment. But that's okay. They got me a nice present. And I don't know if they watch this. If they do, then they're going to know what I'm going to get them back. But basically, they bought me one of the Dimension kits, the Gold Collection Candy Cane Santa Stocking. And you know what? I've always been slightly jelly of all the FLOSSTUBErs that I watch where they all have like these stockings of really pretty Santa patterns. And this one is definitely one that I would like pick up and work on. I haven't done much Christmas stuff, so I was very, very happy to receive it, and it is a pretty one. He does look a little bit. Santa can come across a little bit scary sometimes, but anyways, not as scary as my wizard. What did he say again? Jesus. He called my wizard Jesus. I'll never forget that. That was just... Anyways. Those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. So my plan for my friends is we do this little Christmas get-together every year where we all come together and do Kris Kringle. If you don't know what that is, it's where you just have a present and then we sort of like fight for the present. I think that's how it works. You get a present, you put it... I don't know if it's Kris Kringle. Anyways, it's our version of it. We just put it all into like one big bag, and it is for a person, but then if they don't want it, they can answer a trivia question to get another present or that's already been pulled. So you get your name gets pulled out of a hat, and whoever's first goes first, and usually they're the ones that don't really get what they want in the end. They only get what they get. Unless someone steals the present from them. So that's how we do it. There's like a bit of a stealing portion to it. I have this funny thing that I do where I constantly get a a beach towel. And no one likes my present. I always get a beach towel because there's a limit. There's like a $20 limit. So I always get beach towels, and they hate me for it every single year. But this year, I'll still get a beach towel, but I'm going to give both of my friends their own cross-stitch stocking as well, so that we all do a cross-stitch stocking together for Christmas. So that was my idea. So if they're watching this now, they know. I don't think they watch this, but it's okay. I'll let you guys know what the reaction is. So, haul, I got this for my birthday present. Then another thing that I got for my birthday present. One of my friends owns a business. It's called Foxx and Ginger. Foxx with 2 X's, and she makes jewelry. So she makes these beautiful sort of acrylic design jewelry, earrings mainly. And she's been so lucky. One of them was actually one of the set, or I think a couple of her sets she sold to one of the hosts that we have here on MasterChef Australia. And they wore it on the show. It was just a big moment for her, and I was really proud of her to kind of get her stuff out there. Anyways, one of the things that I seen on her website was these beautiful sort of like fruit acrylic earrings, and I said to her, I would love it if you just put some magnets at the back of it and made me a needleminder. And for my birthday, Foxx and Ginger's here. She made me these Needleminders. I don't know if it's gonna show very well, but she made me, what is it, an orange, a lemon, and a strawberry Needleminder. So you can see the magnets at the back. And I was very, very thankful. And obviously this is not a product that she makes, so the fact that she made it for me was just really, really lovely. And I just love them. I think they're so cute. They're really, really cute. So excited to put them on my projects. And just thank you to Foxx and Ginger. Hey, if she makes it a thing, I don't know, but I'd be very excited to see her just make more Needleminders. Who knows? It could be just a little side hustle for her. Other things purchased or purchased. So, when I was in America, I was in Santa Barbara, and I got this. I remember I was at the laundromat there because I had to, my dirty clothes, had some time. But I was at the Starbucks next to a laundromat there, and I was just on my phone, and I was, when you do those aimless scrolling, and then you just see something pop up, and it was Starlight Stitchery. They had this like a Halloween box or something like that was going to start selling, and there's limited amounts that they would sell, and I got in. I paid the money. I was just like, yes, whatever it is, I want it now. I bought it instantly. I didn't even think, and I was like, oh god, I hope it comes to me in Sydney, Australia. Like, I hope it makes it to me. It did. I got the box. And I'm very excited to share some of the inner contents here. So what comes in the box is, firstly, it's called the Creepy Carnival Stitch Box. That's what it's called. They've made a Spotify playlist that you can actually access to play as part of the ambiance of working with stuff from this box. What they have on this piece of paper is a full list of what is within the box. And I'll probably need that just to chat through all of it with you. So probably just put this over here. Comes with its own pattern book. And inside, you've got lots of different companies or just designers in there. There's a whole heap of patterns in here that are just lovely to work on. The one that I am interested in working on, well, to be honest, Lola Crowe's one is pretty fantastic. I'm just gonna put this to the side because there's a pattern to the right there. But Lola Crowe's mirrors, what is it? Hall of Haunted Mirrors. This one's great. I mean, I'm excited to do that one. Did you like my little just quick kind of like, you can't see the pattern? The other one is, I know frogs are a big thing in the cross stitch world. Well, they've got one, not a frog, it's a lizard, but I mean, it kind of goes with the same sort of thing. But Madame Lizardy is really, really lovely. I'll just show, yeah. It just got a lot of cool stuff in this book. So that's from Mama Witch Cross Stitch. Very, very cool. I love that they do this, that they kind of get all these designers, bring it all together into a themed box. I think it's fantastic. The fact that I even got it in Australia makes me happy. One of the other things that I got was this creepy Halloweeny fabric. So I don't know if it's going to show up with the colors. Oh, it does kind of. You can see like the modeling is just a very light sort of green, one little sort of speck of light just there. That sort of comes through. I love this fabric. It's showing up as really, really dark. Sorry, it's very dark here. Like in person, it's quite dark, but I think when you shine a bit of light on it, you can see that it's all very green, or it's got the green tinge. It's called Hailstorm. It's a 32 count linen. It is by Starlight Alchemy, so it's from the actual owners of the box. And yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of project that I'd put on this one. So there's that. how cool is this little floss drop card? It's a ticket to the carnival. So, admit 1, the creepy carnival. I'll definitely be using this as part of the projects. I got a little cute little postcard called The Greatest Freak Show on Earth. I can relate. I love the idea of freak shows. A sticker of a merry-go-round with skeleton horses on it. It's all just like funny, cute things. Yeah, this is a nice touch. They give you a popcorn bag, and then inside it are all the silks. Silks? I believe they're silks. No, not silk. Sorry, they are cotton floss. But they give you all of these from Forbidden. Oh shoot! So sorry. Forbidden Fiber Co. They gave me Fire Eater. Oh, is that gonna come up? Sometimes I don't know how this focus works. I try my best. Fire Eater. A purple one called Midway. We'll get there, guys. One day I'm going to get so good at this. It will be a breeze. Snake Charmer is a variegated one. So I don't know if you can see. This is going to be a difficult one to show. But this variegated thread here, it's got like tinges of orange brown and it goes to like green. I think it would look really, really pretty over a very dark fabric, just so you can see those differences. So that's a nice variegated one. This one's also variegated, called House of Mirrors. I'm trying to see. I wonder if you can see. There we go. So you can see it's just more of a. I don't know what to call this color. I mean, obviously it's like a grey blue, and it kind of darkens to a navy blue. Onyx? Is that a color? Onyx? Kind of like a light onyx? I like the way I say onyx. Carousel is the next one. I wonder if they're actually part of any of the patterns inside. This one's not variegated, but it's a nice sort of mustardy yellow. So really nice touch with the popcorn bag, Starlight Stitchery. I enjoy the popcorn bag. So that's one of the stuff that's in there. One of the other things that they gave me was one of these melted cotton candy and lemonade melts that go on like one of those, like an oil burner, but not oil, specifically for these melts. I don't have one of these things. There you go. I don't have one of these melt things, so I'd be interested. I'm gonna smell it. Woo! Cotton candy and lemonade. Actually smells very Halloween-y. Maybe something to put on my downstairs on my little Halloween table. Cute Needleminder with one of those like old-timey circus sort of performers or carnival performers in this sense. The Circus Fire Eater. Very, very cute. And then this bookmark, which is a bit like holographic. You can see through it. Really, really cute. Some extra scary little devil stickers. And then my favorite, Pop Rocks. I'm going to leave this out because I will be eating it. So it's just this really, really cute box of lots of different things. I was very, very happy to receive it in the mail. I was just like, it feels like Christmas, you know what I mean? So as a whole, I'm very, very excited to start on one of the patterns from there as well. I don't know if I'll be doing it for this Halloween, because I started Tiny Town, but definitely something that I'm going to pick up for next year. I think that haunted House of Mirrors doesn't look like it would be too difficult to do. Like, I don't think it's going to take me like 3.5 or 4 months like Greenhouse did. So yes, interested with that one. Okay, so that's you know, that's not bad for a haul. I mean, it's not the same as what I came back from the US with, but you know, for what I've got, I'm not that, you know, unhappy with it. The other things that I wanted to show you. Okay. So I think you all know I do a little bit of woodwork. Well, I finished my little floss boxes. Well, my partner did one and I did the other. But yeah, I will show you what they look like. We finished them about 2 weeks ago, got them. Our, you know, woodwork teacher was really excited about them. He took all these photos of them and posted them online, and I'm just so happy that I've got them as well. Like, they're just really, really pretty. And they're ours, and we made them. So here they are. So this is the box. And these are some of the designs that go on it. I mean, we did not do the engraving. The engraving was done by a machine called the CNC machine or something. But you can see everything else we've done. So we sort of created the box from scratch, just from a piece of timber, and carved it out. And what's amazing about it, this is the lid that comes off. That's what it looks like. And inside, you got your dividers for your floss. How cool is that? Tell me that's not cool. I was so excited. we like specifically built it for just the idea of having enough room, because you know sometimes you can get those dividers that just don't have enough room for you to grab it, and I've got, like, you know, annoyingly large fingers, and I just want to have enough room to actually grab the floss out. And yeah, so now this is where I keep them all, and it's nicely organized. Now, I know my collection of DMC is going to increase over time, but for now they all fit in these, and at one point maybe I'll just be using them for projects. Like, I'm gonna put one, you know, set of DMC colors in here, and that's that project. But right now it's actually holding all my DMC. So this one's my partner's box, so he worked on this one, and this one is the one that I made. So I did a little bit of a different sort of etching. So I did, this one's of a peacock and its feathers sort of coming down. You can see our boxes are very, very similar. We made sure they were exactly the same, because one of the most important things we wanted was for them to stack like this and still be the same size. So it was actually very difficult for us to make sure that these match. So we did it, and I was very excited. And then my one's a little bit different. I did sort of like a multi-purpose divider. So you can kind of see, you can put your floss, but I've also got these dividers here that kind of come out. And you can make them long, or you can make them small. And then I've got my Cranix in there. But yeah, just like various things you can put. Like, I've got my thread magic, little floss cutters. It's just multi-purpose. That's why I made it that way. So I'm very, very proud of these. And can I just say, dividers may look easy. They're not. They're not easy. You have to get them precisely right. They actually took like 3 whole lessons to get right. Isn't that ridiculous? So that is, you know, something that my partner and I are very proud of. And look, I think that's basically it of my cross stitch journey in the past like month. Feel like I've gotten through quite a bit. I'm very happy that I've got to finish. I'm happy to start Tiny Town. You know, when I finish Tiny Town, I'm in an R-ing on what I'm gonna do next. I feel like I need to do like something Christmassy. Maybe I should do the stocking, but I was thinking more that if I get my friends the stockings, the cross stitch stockings, then we can all start it and do it next year and have it done by the next sort of Christmas meetup that we've got. Because I don't know if I want to start that one just yet. What's calling me at the moment to begin on is, well, I feel like I want to start this one, which is the, what's it called again? Dad's Helper. I feel like I want to begin this one, and I want to do it. I don't know. I mean, that's going to be a long project, isn't it? I feel like that's the one that I want to go for, though. And then I also want to pick up Bellatrix. So I just want to do one other start and then just swap it between. Like, I'm thinking that I want to do like a swap sort of thing. 1 week on Bellatrix, 1 week on this other one, 1 week on Bellatrix, 1 week on this other one. So that I don't like veer too far away from just focusing on one project. And then that takes up my whole year. I want a bit more variety. But I don't want to do like 50 whips at one time. I don't think I can do that. That would cause me to lose my mind. I'm not geared that way. Some other people are amazing at that. I'm not amazing at knowing that I've got 50 whips going. I need finishes. Otherwise I feel like I haven't, like, I need to know that the project is done, if that makes sense. I say that, and yet I still don't frame any of my stuff. I mean, that's when it's really done. Sorry, I just need my caffeine hit. Cool. All right. We've reached a section now where I just want to do a few shout outs. Also want to talk about a couple of things before we go to my anything other than cross stitch section. So a couple of new floss tubers that I want to shout out to. One of them is actually one of my subscribers who's currently just put out her first floss tube, which is very, very exciting. She's been so lovely to me in comments for the last 6 to 7 months, or 9 months actually. I've been doing this. Jesus Christ. But anyways, I just feel like it's necessary for me to shout her out because she's just an amazing person. And her first floss tube video, I mean, you should see her WIP Parade. She's got like some amazing stuff that she's working on. So her name is Emma of Emma's Stitches. I'll obviously put all the links below in the comments, but please check her out. Give her, a hello. Check out her WIP Parade. It is her first floss tube, and I'm hoping she makes many more, and I'm very, very excited to see more from her. Emma, like, I'm there for it. Second floss tube video, I'm yours. And then we also have another shout out for Cara at Granite State. The name is Granite State Stitches. So she's just recently put out her. Well, I think she's done a couple of floss tubes, but she's just revising her style or something like that and just trying again. I've only seen her latest first floss tube, and she gave me a shout out, and it sort of pointed me towards what what she's talking about. And she's a lovely, lovely person, great sense of humor, and she's working on some beautiful projects. I think one of my favorites that she showed was she mentioned it's a pretty popular one amongst the community, but the Summer Quaker. Let's just say I'm enabled. I kind of wrote that down. I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that one too. So big shout out to Cara. And I hope you guys can check her out. The other shout outs that I've got are Karen at KBH Stitches. I recently just watched one of her videos for the first time, and I can relate to her so much so that I put this as a comment on her floss tube, but she used to breakdance, and that's something that I grew up on quite a bit, to the point where I was obsessed with this movie called Breakdance 1 and 2. That I've gone in the costume. I dressed up as Ozone. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, Karen will know if she's watching. But I dressed up as Ozone to costume parties, and people would be like, "Who's that?" But like me, my brother, my sister, and my first cousins, we loved these movies. We loved them. So to hear someone else talk about it, and then she also said she got a lesson in breakdancing from one of the people from the cast. Jealous. Extremely jealous. Just saying. Karen, I'm jealous. I'm still jealous. Anyways, check her out. She's got a lot of lovely projects that she's working on. One of the ones that she showed that I was really like, wow, was the Colonial Hair, I think by Primitive Hair. I think I've got some of her stuff actually, or some of that designer stuff. But
definitely check it out. That colonial hair looks amazing. Just saying. Another person that I've been watching was Juanita at Stitchy Things. I believe she's from the Northern Europe. Tell me if I'm wrong, Juanita. But she's lovely. She just recently also shouted me out, and she shared that she did a very, very similar trip that I did in the USA, which is uncanny. But I mean, she went one step further and went to Las Vegas. If only I had a couple of more days to fit in Las Vegas. And she went to, I believe, what was it called? I wrote it down. Hold on. She went to Stitches Paradise in Las Vegas. So that's one for my next trip to the US of A. But yeah, that's where she got Nevermore. That pattern, I really like that pattern. It's the one that's on the. Oh God, it's not on fabric. It's on the. Wow, I'm losing my mind. Not fabric. Moving on. Nevermore. Really like that. But yeah, Juanita, lovely, lovely person. Beautiful, beautiful project. She ranges from a whole lot of different things, from samplers to, I believe there was a Mirabilia that I saw as well that she did. But yeah, lovely. I'm shouting you out, Juanita. Lovely projects. Okay. Now, this is going to be an interesting shout out, and it's all going to sort of merge into the next section with my anything other than cross stitch. But my partner has a YouTube channel now. Basically, he wants to sort of his reason for wanting to do this channel is he's making booktubes, basically. He wants to read fantasy or be more focused on fantasy reading. And when he gets to the end of a book, he wants to celebrate the book by making a video and talking about it. That's how he wants to see it. And so he doesn't really care if it gets, if it gets anywhere. It's not about YouTube per se, but more as like a diary for him that he wants to share with people if people are interested. So yeah, the channel is Paul Reads Fantasy. His name on there is Paul Menzies. So I'll link that below as well. If anyone's interested in fantasy and hearing reviews or just, his take on it, check him out. I'm shouting out my partner here. It's strange, but check him out. I think the first video he released was about Malice by John Gwynne, which is a fantasy novel written in 2010. I'm going to talk about that one in a sec. And the other one that he just finished was Terry Pratchett's Color of Magic, which is a very old 80s, I believe, or late 70s fantasy novel. It's called the Discworld series. He's going to be going through that whole series and just talking about it book to book. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in booktubes and you're interested in fantasy particularly, check him out. I'm sure, maybe you'd like it. Otherwise, tell him it's crap and he should do a floss tube. What? No, don't do that. That's just mean. I'm being mean. And yeah, one of the other things that I wanted to mention to you all is that if anyone's from Australia, there's a wait list currently going for a Stitching Time retreat that's down in Tasmania for October 2024. Check it out. It's called Halloween. It's a Fox and Rabbit Halloween retreat. I just put my name down for it and hoping that I can get onto the role, whatever, because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about going down there in October for anything for Halloween. And plus, A Stitching Time is one of my favorite stores in Australia for cross stitch. So I'm interested in going back there and just losing myself in that. It's so cute. It's one of the cutest stores. It reminds me of just some of the stores that I saw in Edinburgh, where it's just down a level. You have to go down the stairs, and it's, and with Hobart's weather being so cold, and I get nice feelings from it. And yes, that is that segment. So now we're up to anything other than cross stitch. Well, one of the things that I wanted to mention to you guys before was a funny story that happened to me this month, which was I ended up on Yahoo 7 News for a very, very strange reason. we've got this company here that's called Milk Run, and they do deliveries of groceries in under 30 minutes or something like that. And I ordered zucchinis. I wanted to get zucchinis, so I wanted to make a meal with zucchinis. And I ended up ordering just 2 zucchinis. But one of the zucchinis I got was like this, the size of that compared to the big zucchini next to it. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, that's silly. Why? What are they doing? So I did the whole thing where I was just laughing and I was like, oh, this is just so silly. Why would they send me? Because they don't measure by grams, they just measure by quantity. So some person was like, that's a zucchini, I guess. It's not a zucchini, it was a finger. It was like, it was nothing. So I just messaged and I was being a big, complainer. I'm just like, oh, I want my money back, blah, blah, blah. I got my money back. They gave me a credit. They were all fine with it. I mentioned the story the next day to my friend, and she mentioned it to her partner who works at Yahoo 7, who apparently had someone there who also had a very similar incident with zucchinis. And then all of a sudden, I'm asked if I want to be part of a story about, the cost of zucchinis and the cost of living, moving up, and how these companies are taking advantage. And I'm just like, oh my God, how did we get here? How quickly that escalated. And I'm just like, sure, why not? So yeah, there's a Yahoo 7 article with my name on it talking about zucchinis. The things that happen in our lifetime is all I'm going to say. So there you go. They did say, do I want my picture on there? And I said, absolutely not. I don't want to be called Zucchini Boy, but I will share it with you guys. Don't call me Zucchini Boy though, please don't. So that's something that happened. Right. So anything other than cross stitch? So a couple of things. Some of the things that I've been really into lately that I just want to share is, firstly, music. I know I don't really talk about music, but I've been wanting to sort of incorporate that into this section of the FLOSSTUBE, where I'm just kind of giving you a bit of a heads up of artists that I really like listening to and just want to share. So one of the artists I want to share, they just released a new album this month called Again, and it's by Tricks Point Never. These guys, like, you're going to find that my taste is quite strange, but his album, he's got like classical roots, but he's experimental and it's very electronic. So if you're into that sort of electronic experimental, go for it. It's beautifully done. Lots of aggressive moments, but also just a very calming experience. And he's sort of calling back on a lot of the stuff that he used to do for the last 15 years. This guy is monumental, by the way. Like he's so progressive in the sense of how he does music. He does a lot of soundtracks now, I believe, for films and all that. And I just love his music. So check him out if you're interested in sort of experimental electronic. The other 2 albums that I'm going to mention are sort of similar, not in vein with this electronic experimental, though they are quite experimental. One of them is called Weyer's Blood. I would say she's the modern Sarah McLachlan. McLachlan? I always get it wrong. Please forgive me. McLachlan. I always say McLachlan. English was my second language. Anyways, she gives me those vibes. She's got a great video clip out that's very just kitsch. But I think it's Weyer's Blood, and the video is called Twin Flame, I believe, or something like that. It's so kitschy. Check it out. What a great video. Great album. Very laid back. Very, I don't want to say beige rock, but it gives me that 90s beige sort of, which is something that I'm very much looking at these days as something that kind of gets me by. The other one is Earth Eater. If anyone doesn't listen to Earth Eater, she's amazing. Check out her new album. Her new album, I believe, is called, just bring that up because it is definitely on my recently played. Is it called Powders? Powders. So she's got a song on there called Crushing. I believe that's the video clip that she just released. Again, there's a nice vibe to her music. It's very slowed down. You don't listen to this with people around. You listen to this at home by yourself because it's not really something I mean, you can share it with people if they like it, but it's just it's a nice raw sort of music. I think the video clip is actually fantastic because right at the end, it's really stylized and she's just like all glamoured up. I think she ends up looking like Bayonetta. If anyone knows that video game reference, she just looks beautiful. And she ends up taking a wine glass and starts like singing into it, and it vibrates and breaks. And when I was watching, I'm like, oh God, the things I can do with CG. And then right at the end, they actually show a clip of her doing it. And I'm like, oh my God, Jesus Christ, that's full on. I know people can break glass, but like it's fun to see it. Not that her music is going to break your ears. It's not like that. It's just, she's just got a very, very strong voice. She did more folky stuff in the beginning, but then she really turned to electronic music. And then, yeah, she's got a very, very good vibe to her albums. One of my favorites so far. But anyways, I really wanted to share with you those 3 choices of music. Next thing I want to share with you guys. Yeah, I've been, how I love the books lately? Yeah, the books. There's a lot of books. I've read a lot of books, and there's heaps of books. So I'm going to share the books. Shall we share the books? Let's do the books. So new haul of books. So my partner, for my birthday, bought me all of this. And I just want to share, I'm not going to talk about them because I don't know what they are yet, but he really knows that I'm into this whole Japanese fiction. So he got me this one called Japan Sinks. Feel free to let me know if you've read any of these, because I'd like to know. Gene Mapper. This one's called Harmony. So these ones are from a guy called, I think it's the same author, Taiyo Fuji. And is this the same author? Oh, I don't think it is. This one's just called Project Ito. Anyway, I'm not really sure. All I know is that they're definitely science fiction books, those ones, but it's written in a nice way. This one's Haruki Murakami, which a lot of people would know. I mean, this is going to take forever to get through, but really interested in reading this one. I don't know anything about these books, by the way. I'm going in blind, so if anyone knows anything, I'm just showing you the haul because I'm so excited. R.L. Stein's Stuff of Nightmares comic, which, if anyone's an R.L. Stein or, Goosebumps fan from when they were younger, they would know. Yeah, I didn't even know that he was releasing new stuff, so that's one. Terry Moore, one of my favorite graphic novel artists and authors. So this one's called Motor Girl. Amazing art. Don't know what it's about. Very excited to read that one too. Oh no, I think I've actually mixed in stuff that isn't from my partner. Don't judge me. Buffy. And then this is just a continuation because Something is Killing the Children. These are comics that I'm just excited to read. This one's called Specs. Sort of looks like that John Carpenter film. Is it called They? Anyways. So there's Specs. And then my partner's actually read this one. This is a horror graphic novel called, what is it? The Nice House on the Lake. Apparently this one is fantastic. So looking forward to reading that one as well. So big haul of books that I've got to get through. I, for one, am going through these ones. So I've just started reading Strangers in Paradise Part 2 because I finished the first one, and it is a great graphic novel about a love triangle basically between 2 girls that are just really, really love each other, and they have this great relationship with each other, which sort of borders on romantic, but not really. But then there's also a man involved that's part of that relationship, and it's just going through the trials of kind of it's gang related stuff and all that. It's a very good. It's a crime sort of like comedy, sort of ridiculous stories, but very, very interesting. I love it. I want to read the whole series. It's a huge series. I think it's like about six of these, and this is the pocketbook version. I started reading On the Road by Jack Kerouac. it's a hard one to read. You have to be in a mood for it. I'm not saying no to it because it actually does draw me in to the characters. The writing style can get a little bit hard. And I know that he's a beatnik poet or something like that from San Francisco. One of the reasons why I bought it. I am going back to this, but I had to put it on hold because I was just like, it's a bit much. I've got to get back into the mood for it. That road trip feeling, if you know what I mean. But yeah, look, it's an interesting read. I'm not used to that sort of like prose, but I'm interested in reading it. One of the books that I did finish also was Convenience Store Woman, and this is by Sayaka Murata. This book is such a cute, fast read, very fast read. I'm talking fast. There's like, it's a nothing read. I finished it in like 5 days, I think. 5 days of like 20 pages a day, which is my average. It's about a woman that treats the convenience store that she works at like a partner, and it is a very, very cute novel and or novella, I should say. And I do suggest people reading it because it's surprising. It's cute and surprising, but then at the same time, it really shows an image of relationships in our current day and age and what's expected of us, the expectations of marriage, the expectations of kids, and how that weighs upon people where it doesn't really fit. So if you're interested in that sort of story, Convenience Store Woman is definitely one that you could read, pick up, and enjoy. Next book that I actually finished this month was What Moves the Dead. So interesting enough, I didn't realize that this was based off Edgar Allan Poe's novel, like poems. And at this point, I believe, I can't remember his name. Oh, the guy that did Midnight Mass has released, and The House on the Haunted Hill, all those, the Haunted Hill House, sorry, all those Netflix series. He's just released a new Netflix show called The House of Usher, which is what this is about. So this is a brilliantly written novella. Brilliant. I loved it. And I've learned so many new words. I really had to keep a dictionary next to me. Either way, it was very atmospheric, very dark. The horror in it is expected, tropey, like that gothic horror, but set in the countryside. And I loved this book. The second book is out as well. I'll be purchasing. I'm in love with this. Just the way, the writing style, everything about it. Quick read again, novella. I just don't know what else to say. I rate this really, really highly. One of my favorites so far this year. And the next one is, funnily enough, is Malice by John Gwynne, which is what my partner did a review on. It's spoiler review. Don't watch it if you don't want to be spoiled. Look, I don't read huge fantasies like this. I've started this about 2 weeks ago. It's good. It's good. It's written like, if anyone's read Harry Potter, right? You know that feeling of being drawn in, that J.K. Rowling just did. I know that she's controversial, but just like that feeling of her prose, just how she draws someone into the plot, it becomes cinematic. It becomes, something that is just easy to follow. John Gwynne does it perfectly. I'm in love with all the characters. He does snapshots. So basically, because it's a fantasy, it's very hard with fantasy, and I find it with other fantasies, to be drawn in because of the amount of names, the amount of places, the locations, everything. It has to be researched and remembered, and where am I in this map, and what am I doing, blah, blah, blah. What he does is he does it like, have you ever watched the show Lost? He does it in profiles. Today we're focusing on this chapter is going to focus on this person and this person. So all the POVs sort of swap as chapters. That makes it so much easier to read as a big fantasy. And then once you learn the characters, it doesn't matter anymore, does it? But he has a map at the beginning. I'm not used to reading books like this since I've, studied J.R. Tolkien's Hobbit when I was in year 7 of high school. I love watching fantasy, but I never could read it because it was just too dense. I can read this. I can read this very well, and it's a very well written book. We're not talking that you need a dictionary like this one. That's why this one works as a novella, but it's easy to read, but filmic, cinematic, and relevant. Tropey, so tropey, but that's what's good about it too, because it's fresh and you kind of fall into it a little bit, knowing what it could be, but sort of following it like a kind of like a PG Game of Thrones, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I know I throw a lot of like comparisons there, but I'm just trying to give you a feeling of what it could be. This guy is very underrated. I don't think he's very popular. I recommend John Gwynne. I think he's a fantastic writer. So yes, that one. We're starting to like get the books up high here. New books that I bought. Well, I didn't buy this one. This was lent to me. A Little Life. I was told that I was going to cry forever when I read this book. So I'm sure other people have read this. It's by Hanya Yanagihara. It's a huge one as well to sort of get into. Lent to me by a work friend. Probably going to make me cry. I will let you know. And last book I'm going to show you guys today is this interesting one called Shadow Glass. So this one I picked up from the city. I went to Kinokuniya there, and why I picked it up is because of what it said at the back. Basically, it says that the Shadow Glass could easily stand alongside the Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, and the Never-Ending Story. I read that and I went, oh, sold. I don't need to read anything else. I don't know anything about this book. I'm not checking its ratings. I'm not going to. It's by Josh Winning. Don't know what he's ever written. I don't care. It said Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, and Never-Ending Story. I don't think I've shared with you all that Never-Ending Story was one of my favorite films growing up when I was a kid, that I watched it and rewatched it and know it off by heart script-wise. When I watch it, no one watches it with me because I ruin it, because all I do is talk through it. It's just, I've read the novel. I love the book. My nickname when I was younger from my sister and brother was Bastion, because I watched it so much. It is, yeah, if this book is anything close to that feeling of watching something like, Labyrinth, or Dark Crystal is my other favorite, by the way, anyway, then I can't wait to read this one. And it is actually next on the list. After I finish Malice, I'm going straight to this one because I'm so excited about it. So yeah, guys, that is, hold on, wait. I've reached the top. That is the haul. Oh my God, so much. So yeah, look, jam-packed episode. I've wanted to share a lot with you, obviously, in the past month, or a little bit more than a month. I'm hoping everyone is very well. And for anyone that's new here, I hope you've enjoyed my, a video of just me rambling for the last hour. If you liked it, please like the video, subscribe. I'm trying to be a little bit more active on social media, on Instagram, guys. So do follow me there as well if you're interested. You can find all my details in the About Me section or down below in the comments. But yeah, looking forward to catching up with you all again in I say a month, but I take longer. In about a month's time, more than a month, forgive me. But yeah, hopefully I have another finish there with Tiny Town and maybe a new start with something. So let's see. But wishing you all well, and can't wait to hear about anything in the comments section below, and seeing maybe some new floss tubes from you all if you're thinking about it. So yes, have fun everybody. See you later. Bye.